Yes, it's true. I have 3 Signet 22s. One of them is immaculate, perfect condition. I'm not going to convert this one. It's going to stay just like it is. It's practically museum quality for Stromberg Carlson, in my opinion. There's really not a scratch or a flaw on this one. Even the cable is in perfect condition. Still has the speaker plug. And yeah, I think it would just be a crime to do anything to this particular one. The next one was a little bit more weathered, but still in great condition. Thinking about going ahead and converting that one. And the last one here, which I just recently got, is in really good condition as well. And we're going to start a conversion series on the Signet 22, where I'm going to film the conversion of the amp into a guitar amp. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, yeah, 3 of them. We're looking down at a Stromberg Carlson SAU 22 that I've been starting on. Sorry I didn't start recording from the top. I figured I started working on this thing and thought, you know, I better just start recording and share what I'm doing here. And so far you can see I've replaced this electrolytic and this one here as well. And not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, how I'm going to bring this one about. Generally I just kind of like to start getting involved, and then as I get through it, whatever I want to do just seems to come to me, and that's where we go with it. And sometimes they change from there. But anyways, so yeah, I got this electrolytic replaced. Looking for something else with this fuse. I see they've got it hooked up to the rectifier. So is that what we would not consider a mains fuse? I'm not sure. So yeah, and I've got the new one installed. Got some jacks going here, trying to figure out what I want to do for ins and outs. I like these when I put the switches in, because then you can kind of dial in the switches to what the ohms say on the back already. And that's kind of cool, although the switch positions never really seem to line up exactly with the numbers. But hey, we're out trying. Okay, so yeah, and then as usual, I think on the front what I do is I do pre, post, mid, bass and treble. And I have the dual shaft this time I'm going to use for a separate bass and treble instead of bass one way, treble the other. Which is a goofy design in my opinion. I mean, like, one way all you get is bass, one way all you get is treble. What if you need some of the other? Well, good luck. It's got to come externally. So I don't know why these didn't come with a little more features, especially since, they were meant for churches and schools and stuff. Maybe they were just more, for voices and stuff. But shop smart, shop S-Mart, that kind of stuff. Anybody know the reference? So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this hum adjustment, which is running the heater elements, and lots of these old caps that I'm probably sure are all dried up. Curious though, I'm curious. So yeah, we're getting after this, and I'm going to have to replace some of these pots if I'm going to tone stack the way I'm hoping to. And of course, a lot of these companies only did these potentiometers with half a shaft. And then, of course, all of their this one's from a Bogan, but they all come with proprietary knobs for half shaft. But the good news is a lot of these older ones, you can take them apart and clean them out really good and renew them and refresh them. But it's hard to find. It's hard to find 1 meg. Or they're always in 500K or 2 meg for some reason. I don't know what the heck. But yeah, so this is gonna come along. I like these little lunchbox looking amps. I'm still trying to decide whether I want to use the 6U8 or just convert this over to a 12AX7. I haven't decided yet, but rectifier, might just stick a yellow jacket in there. I got some of those. These are cool. I got these from Antique Electronic Supply. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Makes your amp run a little hotter, but they're convenient. I like them. So it does definitely stiffen the amp up. Definitely stiffens it up. So sorry for the glare. Here we have the schematic up on my screen, and still trying to get a grasp on what I'd like to do as far as signal routing and gain staging and things like that. I wouldn't mind kicking this one out a little bit and making it a little raspy, a little nasty savage. Some of the amps I do, I keep nice and clean and keep them nice and sounding really pretty and tubey. They get that cool jangly overdrive that you get in like alt style stuff, but I don't try to stack up the gain stages, but some of them I do. Some of it's fun, and I'm just getting started. I'm a little past my first year and working on amps, and I chose to do the route of vintage amps rather than mods. Doing the not mods, I'm sorry, the kits. Everybody seems to get their amp work started by doing the kits, and for me personally, I thought this might be a better option. I have a lot more stuff to play with, a lot more values, a lot more tubes, a lot more designs, a lot more troubleshooting. So I'm going to build a kit here real soon, but I'm liking where I'm going with all my PA work and conversion work. I'm learning a lot. I learn a lot from people online. Some guys I follow give out a lot of good information, and I appreciate that. All the good info that's being given out about products and caps and values and just all that good stuff that goes into modding and building and whatnot. And I'm even working on a little Jose mod stage that I kind of been putting together out of some special stuff. Yeah, and I'm getting ready to do another video here real soon. I just finished the K130. Boy, was that a challenger. Should have been called Challenger, but boy, this amp kicked my butt. But I finally got it going, and I got rid of all this buzz and bugs and yikes, man. The only thing I still have with this amp is it's got a ton of inrush current that I can't seem to get rid of, and I'm just gonna stick a thermistor in there or something. But it has a lot of inrush current, so I have to bring it up slowly on the variac. Otherwise, I fear I could damage some components. I've seen it get up past 600 volts on the B+, so I still have that to kind of deal with, but this thing sounds pretty savage. I'm really, really happy with the way this one's turned out. And of course, the other ones I did too, with the Marshall-esque values. Sound just like Marshalls, but they, I like the drive and the grit of that Marshall vibe. So yeah, coming along. back with the Stromberg Carlson SAU 22 conversion. Just going over this a little bit. As you can see, I've removed the mic inputs for a 1/4 inch jack, and trying to figure out the back panel and what I want to do as far as ins and outs and whatnot. Yeah, so I was talking about this hum adjustment earlier, and I looked in at a little, it's just, I said something about that it was running off the heater or something. I don't know what the heck I said in the other part of the video, but after I was looking at it a little closer, it appears that the hum adjustment is actually running up and altering the bias. So that's a cool feature. I think I'm glad that, when they made these old amps, that they included those features for you to alter the bias and adjust the hum. So yeah, I'm looking forward to utilizing that feature. And so I'm still deciding on whether I want to, either gain stage each side of the preamp tube into the half of the 6U8, or do I just want to double them up and blast both sides of the tube at once? There's a couple options there. I've seen people do that where they wire the two tubes together, and you run it. You're just basically blasting the tube in parallel, rather than separating the two available gain stages in the preamp tube. So, but yeah, I was checking out this phase inverter. As you can see, it's a cathodiene style phase inverter, but I'm thinking about changing it over to a long tail pair because I saw an orange Tiny Terror schematic that caught my eye, and I thought that might be a really cool option for one of these little shoebox amps. So yeah, I'm looking that way for the next schematic. I've had to play around with some different things and mess with values and just kind of learn, bumble my way through it and see what works and what doesn't squeal and what doesn't hum bad. And so that's been the best part about working on these old vintage amps, is I just get to troubleshoot my way through it, for better for worse. And yeah, I've blown a lot of blown a lot of caps. And another thing I was looking at was the char marks in here.
Not a lot, just a few
Aren't
caps.
really a good sign. All the wiring and everything under this transformer looks like it's gone through something. So that's a little scary, considering I didn't even test it yet. I've had really good luck on these amps as far as transformers go. I've bought 20 of them, at least 20 of them so far, more than that. And out of maybe the 7 or 8 I've worked on so far, 2 of them have had bad transformers, from what I can tell. But yeah, that's never a good sign, a bunch of char marks and stuff. But I've also seen some of these amps look incredibly charred, but still, snap right on. So we'll see how far we can get. And, the rat's nest wiring, that's another thing. Stromberg Carlson put these amps out by the thousands, tens of thousands, I'm sure, and they all looked like this. So in these videos where we're watching these nice amp builders, and they've got this extreme strict wiring etiquette, and that's so cool in goals, man, just to set up all that wiring so meticulously. But look how these amps came. They shipped them out like this. So the rat's nest wiring thing, it still works. It's not exactly like super ideal for noise and interference and whatnot. But, if Stromberg Carlson can put these things out by the truckloads like this, then I can't see, the design being that wrong. And so when it comes to wiring etiquette and stuff, I'd like to sit down and rewire these amps all nice and perfect and meticulously. But, as it is, sometimes you're just trying to get them to pop back to life. And so, you got stuff sticking up and sticking out everywhere, all over the place, just waiting to pick up interference. But hey, they sold them like this and they still worked, and they didn't seem to have any problems with that, or for all I know. So that's my little take on the wiring etiquette thing. I would love to go through these and really make them look really nice. And in fact, I've seen some PA amps that have some really, really meticulous wiring. For instance, the Precision Electronics, and the amp that I got from Italy, the Lisa, is just amazing. It has Ducati capacitors in it. Yeah, so we're working on this. We're gonna go in and trying to figure out what I want to do here. If I want to keep the on-off switch with the, well, I'm not going to be able to if I'm going to separate the bass and treble with a concentric style. I think that's what that's called. And then the off. So no, I'll have to install a switch or something. I found this in my box. Maybe this might be kind of cool. Let's see.